Hello! It's another week, another review. And this week I will be reviewing Moonlight. So, Moonlight was the first LGBTQ movie with an all African American cast to win Best Picture at the Oscars. And boy, oh boy, did it deserve it. Oh my goodness, this movie was amazing. Before I say anything else, this movie is not for children. There's tons of very, 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 very strong language and a little bit of sexual content. Moonlight is directed by Barry Jenkins, and it's about a boy named Chiron, played by Alex R. Hibbert, Ashton Sanders, and Trevante Rhodes. And it's just him growing up as a gay African American in a very poor Miami neighborhood. So this movie is separated into 3 chapters. One as Chiron as I want to say about 8 or 9. The second one where he's a teenager in high school, and the third one where he I think in his mid-20s. I don't know, they never say specific ages, so I don't want to go into the plot because there's just so much that needs to be experienced. This movie has a very powerful message about not only being an African American, but also being a gay person. And so I just want, if you haven't seen the movie yet, I don't want to ruin the plot. But I will talk about cinematography, music, and color. Because not only is this movie powerful, it is powerful because of those 3 things. So my favorite shot is in the second chapter when Chiron comes home to his mom, who is very clearly disoriented, and she locked herself out of the house. And so it's just this scene very close up to both their faces, and at first it's really slow, and just so that the viewer gets a very firm grasp of both of their raw emotions. Chiron's being fear at what his mom is becoming, and hers this conflict between her drug addiction and her son. And so there's this one shot, and it's just a close-up of his mom's face, and it's very still, not a lot of movement, and some of her dialogue is played as a voiceover. It just makes the viewer see what is wrong, and it makes them feel that something is very, very wrong. And then there's a very sudden shift to really quick, shaky camera movements as Chiron is following his mom back to their door so that he can let her in. And so it just makes that fear and confusion so much more heartbreaking because of how the camera shows it. And just those camera movements in that scene made it so much more heartbreaking than if it was just Chiron's mom having a conversation. And that's the power of a camera, and I just fell in love with it. My other favorite was when Chiron, in the first chapter, when Chiron is at the beach with Juan, who is a character who basically becomes his mentor. And Juan is teaching him how to swim. And so they're both in the ocean, and so is the camera. And so you get like these small waves passing over the frame, just like midway, sometimes even barely. And it makes the viewer feel like they're there. And the water is like this beautiful turquoise, more on the greenish side, and the sky is very bright blue, and all the colors are just beautiful. And the thing that made that scene much more powerful was the music. Like, the best way I could describe the music in that scene was just like a beautiful and graceful symphony of strings. And it just makes you feel untouchable. And it just gives the scene so much power and so much beauty that wouldn't be the same without that music. And then the color. The color, oh my goodness. Like, not only were many of the scenes like very saturated with really bright greens and blues, and like yellows, but there's also meaning behind some of those colors. And the one I actually did figure out the meaning behind was the very last scene of Chiron as a young boy, just at the beach. And it's at nighttime in the moonlight, and everything is just covered in this bright blue hue. And it's at the very end of the movie, right after the resolution. I won't spoil, but he finally found the tranquility and the peace that he had been looking for his entire life, and that he was never able to find until then. And it was just such a beautiful way to end the movie, especially because like it took some thinking to kind of figure out. I watched the ending like 5 times because I just wanted to know. I wanted to know why it was ended that way, and then I figured it out, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's amazing. The other one, the color symbolism that I wasn't able to figure out was, there was a shot of Chiron's mom at the end of a hallway in their house, and there's an open door to her left, I think. I don't know, to her left, and there's just like this really bright hot pink light coming through into the hallway. And I didn't know what it meant, because like the color symbolism of pink is the complete opposite of the tone of that scene. I don't know, I might just be dumb. But all in all, this movie is absolutely amazing. Combined with the message and the plot and the story, but also how it was made, the cinematography, the color, all of that just made this into a masterpiece. I give it 10 out of 10. It was amazing. I do recommend it. Anyone my age or older. I am 17. Anyone over the age of 17 has to watch this movie. It will teach you such a powerful lesson, just about the world and about people. There are so many different kinds of people, and they all experience different things, and it's just so important to understand that. Yeah, it will change your life. Yeah. So, thank you for watching. I will announce what my next video will be about around Wednesday or Thursday. And the video will be out on Monday. So stay tuned. Yeah. So I'll see you then.